Okay, happy Tuesday, everybody. Go ahead and take out your math notebooks and write Module 5, Lesson 7 at the top. Again, make sure you are taking notes with the video and pausing it to solve the problem on your own to make sure you fully understand what is actually happening here. So go ahead and give the complex problem a shot. Pause the video and try it out. Alright, if you are here checking your work, I'm going to find the volume of each rectangular prism and then I'm going to add the two together. This bottom one has a length of 4, a width of 2, and a height of 2, giving me 16. This top one here has a length of 4, a width of 1, a height of 2. Which is 8. If I add these two together, that gives me 24 centimeters cubed. Alright, go ahead and pause the video now and write the objective down in your notebooks. So today, you are going to solve word problems. And one way we're going to look at volume word problems is to follow a couple of steps. And so looking at these steps, we're going to make our own steps for how we solve story problems in here. So as I'm writing these steps down on the board, I want you to copy them in your notebook. So the first step is to underline important information. The second step is to label your length, your width, your height, or your volume, which is different in these word problems than we've seen before. Your third step is to draw a picture. And then, of course, your last step is to double check. Double check, does my answer even make sense? And if not, we messed up somewhere along the line. So using these 4 steps here, I'm going to look at this first problem. It says Jeffrey's first planter is 8 feet long and 2 feet wide. And so I know when it says 8 feet long that it is actually talking about the length. So I'm going to label this with an L. And 2 feet wide. I know that 2 feet wide is the width. The container is filled with soil to a height of 3 feet. Here is my height. What is the volume of the soil in the planter? And then it says explain your work using a diagram. And so when I'm thinking about this planter, again, a planter is like a pot that you would plant yours. It's like a pot you would plant your flowers in. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. And so for this one, it actually tells us the height, the length, and the width. And so when we see those, we want to label them right away. And now we want to draw our nice picture of a rectangular prism. And if I draw my rectangular prism here, I know that my length goes down here, it's 8 feet. My width is 2 feet. And my height is 3 feet. And to find the volume of this rectangular prism, I do 8 times 2 times 3, which is 16 times 3, which is 40 feet cubed. So as you notice here, it's not labeled as centimeters cubed. And that's because volume is measured in many different measurements. And so if we look at this, this actually says 8 feet long. And so if you multiply 3 numbers that are labeled in feet, it becomes cubed. And that's why we say centimeters cubed or feet cubed. The most important thing is that you have that small little 3 right next to your unit. Just make sure that you're following the units because they will change depending on the problem. Okay, let's try this next word problem here. So, following our steps, I see that it says Jeffrey wants to grow some tomatoes in 4 large planters. He wants each planter to have a volume of 320 cubic feet. Already gave us our volume. But he wants them to be all different. Show 4 ways that Jeffrey can make these planters and draw diagrams with the planter's measurement on them. And so, when I looked at this, I know that the volume has to equal 320. And so it would be like saying the length times the width times the height equals 320 cubic feet. So feet. Okay, so I need to find 3 numbers that multiply to equal 320. And what I did is I looked at this number and I said, oh, it ends in a 0, so it can be divided by 10. It can be divided by 5, and it's also an even number. So I did that, and I found out what my 3 numbers are that would equal up to 320. Again, I need 4 of those combinations. And so I'm going to switch the screen here so you can see what I drew. And I want you to pause the video when you see this so that you can draw what you see here. Erase this here. And so you can see that the 3 different types of planters, they all 3 have different lengths, they all 3 have different widths, they all 3 have different heights. However, every single one of my volumes is 320 feet. And so if you get a story problem like that today, you might want to work to figure out what 3 numbers could I multiply that equals the volume. Once you get your 3 numbers down, it's pretty easy to go draw a rectangular prism and just throw your numbers on there. And so go ahead and pause the video if you haven't already to copy these 4 planters down. Okay, the last one here, the check for understanding. So as you work on this, I want you to pause.